Andrew, do you know who Chase Young is?
Yeah, of course.
No. My point is, I don't either.
Before I said that Cade Cunningham would never be an All-Star, and I just wanted to double down on that. I just.
We're back
What's going
with
on
another.
with Mike's video?
I know.
Welcome back with the live episode of what are we at 28 now? Dude, is this thing even real? Oh, there's so much movement in the NBA. Let's talk some NFL. I know this is yeah. Well, I mean, whatever. Let's go. What's up, Jam Squad? I'm MK. I'm your host. I'm here with Drew and John M83. What's going on, fellas? How you doing tonight?
What's up, guys?
What's up, Mike? What's up, John?
How we doing?
Good to see you.
Not too bad. Not too bad. Doing well. Doing well. I cannot believe how much is going on in the NBA right now. This is a little wild, to be honest with you. Let's see here. I do have a couple things I want to start off with, though. Number one is for those. Let's see why you're processing. Oh, here we go. Let's add this to the stage. Today is Bobby Bonilla Day.
Nice.
For those
They
of you
still paying him?
unfamiliar with Bobby Bonilla, he
Stop paying him.
played baseball a really long time ago.
It wasn't a really long time ago, but a long time ago.
During one of his contracts with the New York Mets, he decided, hey, I'll forego getting paid right now for a check for $1.2 million every July 1st between let me take that graphic down so I can between 2011 and 2035. What in the world, dude? Who was his agent? How did he get this contract?
Smart guy.
The very smart guy. This is why nobody else will ever make that contract, because the Mets are still paying him on their roster.
He must really not trust himself with money. That's all I gotta say. I mean,
Hey, I wouldn't mind. Would you rather? Okay, here's the deal. Would you rather take the lump sum, or would you rather take the prorated throughout the rest of your years?
You put it.
You going lump sum?
You invest
John, you
it.
going lump sum?
Your return on your investment will be so much more, man. You gotta take
But Drew, the answer is yes if you know how to invest. If you don't and you're afraid you're going to spend it all, then this might be the better way to go. But yes, I agree with Drew. He's correct.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He must know himself really well. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm not going to mess with that. I know I got $1 million a year to live on, and here it is. So, I mean, how old is he? 61 now? In 2035, he'll be 70. 70. 72.
And still making 1.2 million.
To get his last. That's a great retirement. Hopefully, he's saving the 0.2 for after that. But
yeah,
so
agreed.
I want to know what the statistic is for pro athletes, and how many of them actually are still millionaires well after their retirement.
I'm sure it varies, but there's probably a lot that just don't have any money left, man. It's a lot, unfortunately. Worst case. I mean, there's a few like really bad ones you hear about, like Delonte West, but
That was
there's
really bad.
others too.
Woo
Yeah, that one's real.
woo. Little bro, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back. Go ahead and chime in whenever you want. This is how Lil Bro is feeling right now. Today is that horrible time of year when baseball is the only sport on TV. I'm pretty sure he's looking at the TV like that too. Oh my gosh.
There's
Lots of
people that
movement.
love baseball, but I'm kind of that way, so I get it.
My problem is I can't watch it on TV for whatever reason. I love going to games. I love playing baseball. But watching it on TV is by far the most boring thing to me.
It has to be
see?
like the World Series for me. So
What'd I tell you? Lil Bro said, "Yep, that's basically him." Yeah, exactly. Lots of movement in the NBA. They had the NBA draft. I'm sure everyone's read that Bronny James has got traded or drafted by the Lakers. The graphic ends up showing kind of the longevity of LeBron. Bronny James was born a month before the 04-05 season. And LeBron averaged 27, 7, and 7 that season. The season before his son joins him in the NBA, LeBron is averaging 26, 7, and is that 8? Is that 8 on there?
Yeah.
6, 7, and 8. Not too shabby. The kid joined you.
LeBron is like,
Don't you dare.
it's weird that it's like I don't even know when he's going to slow down, but he
He's
should
up
have
there.
slowed down.
He's definitely
slowed
up there
down already.
longevity wise. Definitely up there. How do you feel about that Bronny draft, Drew? Tell me your real feelings. I don't want to know I don't want to know the politically correct answer.
Take my medicine. Bronny's the best player ever. No, I'm just kidding. So the reality is I hope that someone like him can really improve and deserve an NBA spot. The guy averaged 5 points a game, like in college. I think he could have developed a little more first.
Little
out the
bro said
belt when
LeBron's
Bronny's
gonna pull
not
out the belt when Bronny's not listening. That
funny.
is funny. That is too funny.
Here's the biggest thing: is drafting Bronny 55. Like, how many second round picks? Besides Jokic and a few others that have done really. Marc Gasol, Jokic. There's been a few that really made an impact in the NBA.
Yeah.
Okay.
The vast majority, at best, are like a role player. There are always those few that you can name, Manu Ginobili as well. Like, there's always a few guys that really outplayed their second round draft, right? But so for me, like, the Lakers taking a flyer on him just to appease LeBron and have a little nepotism and have a fun story, sell some tickets, like, hey, whatever, go for it. The
They could
problem,
have picked him up in the
biggest
third,
problem I
though,
have,
right?
what's that?
They could have picked him up in the third, though, right? No.
Well, there's
You
no
don't think
third
so?
got him.
round, so
You could have got him undrafted though.
yeah,
I mean,
they
there
could
was
have picked him up undrafted, but
there was plenty of
they
players
didn't
that
want
went
that.
undrafted,
So,
even from the same team.
so here's the thing, though.
16.5 points, man. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, but my thing I was going to say is
That's crazy.
the biggest problem with the Lakers drafting them is I think it ruins their credibility with other players, other free agents around the league. Like, if you're a serious basketball player like Klay Thompson who went to the Mavericks or these other guys, like, are you really going to be like, like the Lakers drafted this kid who, like you're showing in the graphics, all these other like standout college players who did not get drafted. Like, can I
Right.
really take the Lakers seriously? Like, are they really about winning? Is that the kind of organization I want to join? So, I think it sends the wrong message to other free agents, and it might hurt the Lakers. Definitely in the short term, maybe even in the long term.
John, what do you think about the situation?
I might have a tiny issue with Andrew saying Klay Thompson as his example of a serious player, but no, I'm just joking, Drew. I truly feel the same way that Drew feels. That I feel like there's some credibility lost there. Uh, who wants to join a team that you might feel LeBron fully controls? And maybe that works for some players, but with a lot of egos out there, it doesn't work for everybody. So there is a line being drawn, I think, for some players not wanting to go there. So I think Drew said it perfectly.
To add to your point, both in the last 2 years, where those
Happy
balloons
birthday.
come from? I have
Happy
no idea where
birthday.
those balloons came from. That scared me for a bit. Um, in the last 2 years, the Lakers' number one target in free agency. Okay, this year was Clay, right? Where did Clay end up going?
To the Mavs.
To the Mavericks. Do you know who the number one target was last year?
Mhm.
It was Kyrie. Where did he end up?
Oh, to the Mavs.
To the Mavs. I think it. I don't know.
Well, he was traded there first, but yeah, that's true.
He was traded there.
He re-signed.
He was traded there first, but I think in both situations, LeBron did reach out. Right
Yep.
after Kawhi's contract was nearing its end, and I mean it was all over Twitter that he reached out to Klay Thompson. I'm almost curious at how many bridges LeBron not necessarily burned, but may not be as sturdy as, I don't know, some of the other players. Like, would you consider LeBron the funnest player to play with? Would you rather play with LeBron or would you rather play with Luka? I'm saying on your team.
Well, probably Luca.
Yeah, probably Luca. Luca also, as a teammate, he after that, they got beat pretty bad, and he had this amazing game. He was like, "It's my fault. I missed some free throws down the stretch, and it's on me." Like he was more like showing leadership, I think. Whereas I feel like even if LeBron says that, all the media says it's everyone else's fault, and LeBron doesn't have a good enough team. Like I don't know if you really want that that hanging over you all the time, where you're a scapegoat on LeBron's team. So
I think it also depends on what you're looking for. I think Luca will give you an all-around game, but if you want LeBron to go to the line 20 times and he's crying to the refs, and you want to be on a team where maybe you get some rest because LeBron's at the line half the time, maybe that works for you. But I do think Luca's probably a better teammate at this point.
I just think I've seen it. I've seen it too often, especially the last couple of years. Like, Lakers really want to go after Kawhi. Kawhi doesn't choose the Lakers. Right. We really want to go after whoever. Whether it was Kyrie, whether it was Clay, like it was always the big name free agent. Now, Rob Pelinka has done an amazing job at trading for other talent, but even that talent, that star talent that came in, didn't pan out, right? With what he traded for Russ, that didn't quite pan out. Although after he left and was with the Clippers, absolutely did amazing, right? Like played into his own role. I'm not saying he's still his triple double self, but played into an actual role and accepted that role and said, "Okay, cool, let's roll."
Let me ask a quick question.
Yeah.
So I think you bring up a good point, but let me ask you this. So do you think some of the issue might be, like, let's take Kyrie for example. So you have LeBron and AD on the Lakers, right? Do you think that Kyrie says, maybe I'm gonna pass on a chance to play with the Lakers because there's only so many balls to go around? And if LeBron's bringing up the ball, not Kyrie, do you think that's an issue? Now you might say, okay, on the Mavs, Luka might be bringing the ball up, and then Kyrie comes and gets it. That might be fair, but do you think there's a part that plays into that?
For me, not with Kyrie, only because he kind of already did that. I mean, when he was with the Cavs, he was having the best years of his career. There was Kevin Love in the post. LeBron had the ball, and he was kind of like this small shooting guard almost. Even though he was the point guard on paper.
Right.
He really played kind of a shooting guard role with
Correct.
LeBron.
Yeah, he's that 1B
distributing
guy.
the ball. Yeah, and he was amazing. Especially in the playoffs because. I think Kyrie really steps it up on defense. Like he doesn't become an amazing defender, but he becomes like a a decent defender in the playoffs. So I don't know. I think he could have just slid right back into that role, but I think he liked Dallas for a few reasons. Um, I even think it might be just because it's in Texas that he felt kind of accepted for some of his antics that he had with all the issues he's having with Brooklyn. And I wondered if he even wanted to risk all that with LA, similar, political climate and everything. So I
Okay.
kind of wondered if that might have played a role in his decision as
So,
well.
so then, what's your argument for Kawhi then? He wanted to come back home. He wanted to come to LA. Why not join LeBron?
That's a good question.
I mean, because there was.
Besides breaking the NBA, if Kawhi, LeBron, and AD were all on the same team, like, who knows?
LeBron might make him play more than he plays right now. So
He whipping out that belt.
Yep.
You
No,
ain't
taking-
injured.
You
Let's
know what
go.
though? You're not wrong, man. I don't think LeBron would have been okay with him sitting out,
I agree.
and he would have let him have it. And that played a role with Paul George for sure.
Definitely. And I couldn't agree more. Shaq was asked about Bronny. He said, I would like the scrutiny of all of Bronny James. Just to get off of Bronny. Says he's a great kid. All he wants to do is play. He said it's completely unfair to give our kids kind of that. How do I explain this? He says it's unfortunate that kids like ours have to live up to what they've done, right? Like,
Yeah.
are any of Shaq's kids gonna be Shaq? No,
No.
never. Just like I don't think Bronny's gonna be LeBron, etc. I mean, even all the other NBA sons that are in high school right now with I don't know. He says when you don't know when your next meal is coming from, you don't. He's like that's going to be your biggest pressure. You don't have to be me. I want you to be better than me, and I'm not even talking as a player. I'm talking as a person. I mean, but to me, that's how Shaq is as a person.
Yeah.
Right. He's always had a big heart. I mean, I could count, or I remember countless stories of him going into Walmart, seeing, a single mom or whatever and paying for all her groceries or paying, yeah, whatever you need. Your kids need laptops. Come on, let's go get them right now. That's just Shaq. But is the scrutiny from or for Bronny, I don't know, acceptable? I don't even want to say acceptable.
I think when young women are on a national stage like this, I think they're treated too harshly constantly. Like, think of you as a person. Like, we always talk about like cyberbullying, all these different things. Like, we're talking about a kid who's 18 years old. I don't like to say bad things about anyone in the NBA or these sports figures because it can get to them. If they're paying attention to the media, I mean, that can mess with your head. I don't care how mature you are. It's hard to kind of let that kind of stuff kind of go. So, yeah, I mean, especially young guys like that, I don't think it's fair. The fact is, I mean, it is nepotism. It's not like we've never seen nepotism in sports before, right, guys? I mean, come on.
Right.
It happens at every level of sports. It's crazy that people are like, even like surprised by this. I mean, think about oh man, there's been a few like even the Ball brothers, like the what was it, Leangelo? What's for
Oh yeah.
whatever
Oh
the
wait,
Yeah.
wait. I got that graphic. Hold on. Let's move on to these three fathers right here. I don't know if you can see this. On the top, you got LeBron James and his two sons. In the middle, you got Coach Prime and his sons, right? And then down on the bottom, you got Ball and his sons. Like,
yeah, so like the middle Ball brother or whatever, like he wasn't good enough, but the Hornets took a flyer on him. They let him play on the summer league team. They tried to get him on the G League team, and they're doing that because Melo is their superstar. Let's just be real. I mean, like the guy is a guy that can shoot, can't play great defense, and he's a high volume shooter too. Like he probably would shoot like 32, 35%, and that's all he can do. You know what I mean? So,
It-
so
is it absolute genius of these three fathers, though? Yeah. Would you consider
oh,
any of them being a Hall of Fame? Oh, like
100%.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Bronny's kind of a mediocre player, mediocre in college. We're gonna get you drafted into the NBA. You know, same thing with Prime. I don't see Shador being Lamar Jackson, right?
That's for sure.
I think he has potential
Yeah.
to do something. But even even Deion Sanders is like, nah, they're a package. Both of them will get picked up by the same team, right? I mean, same thing with the Ball boys. Like nobody was talking about them. They were talking about them in high school.
right.
I mean, Lonzo at UCLA. That's kind of where it kind of took off. But I don't know.
I'm still a Lonzo believer, guys.
You're still a Lonzo believer, dude. When was the last time that guy has played?
I think it was like 2021 or
Yeah.
2022.
Yeah.
And he's still on roster. Like,
Did
how
you
did
hear
he not
about? Did
get
you
that
ever like?
contract?
Did you ever find out what happened to him too?
No,
His
no idea.
meniscus, his meniscus was gone. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. He had tore it so much that it was bone on bone in his knee, and so they had to like graft in. I don't know exactly what they did, but they've been work. Apparently, he's going to try to make another comeback, but we'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
Heavy
But they
Heat
basically had
collects.
to.
Welcome. He's watching us on Instagram.
Nice.
Go ahead, you.
So it's kind of wild. Sad story for Lonzo. Lonzo would have had a good, he would have had a good 10, 15-year career, barring all this injury, And same with LaMelo too, same problem. He keeps getting injured, so who knows? But I saw this quote from Bryce James or whatever. I don't know if this is true. And somebody asked him like, "Are you going to play with your dad too?" And he's like, "Man, when I get drafted, my dad's going to be 42. I don't think so," or something like that. And I was all like, he's already saying when I get drafted. Like, dang, dude, like you already assuming you're getting
Well,
drafted.
He's better
he's
of the two, is
nice.
he not?
Yeah,
I
he is
like
nice.
him. I like him now.
I don't know, guys.
Okay, but
I mean, how old is he? Is he 15?
Yeah, we can go on a tangent, but I'll tell you what though, if you give him 3 years and put him on USC or whoever, and he's gonna average more than 5 points a game and 1 rebound. Like I would like to see him
Possibly.
play. Yeah,
I think
fair.
he's a little more polished. Definitely more polished than Bronny.
Correct.
I think though, like you guys got to remember, like in high school, LeBron James as a freshman was. I mean, I know he's like the best player in the world, but like everyone knew, like, oh my gosh, this guy is the best player in high school. Like Jabari Parker, remember his like junior year, we already knew, like, oh my gosh, this guy, he got drafted number 2 overall. Everybody knew he's going to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like NBA players in high school, we kind of know early on, and that's what I just don't see from some of these kids. I don't know. Maybe it's
guess
different now.
if you look at it though and say his brother gets drafted at 55, a 2nd round pick, I mean, you'd almost think, not to talk madness about anybody, but you almost think he's probably a shoe-in to go somewhere. That's what I would
Yeah.
say. And then Mike, just to add to the topic already, Get him, little bro. Get him. Get him.
One of the best players in the world, man. Come on, LeBron. Come on,
Oh.
dude. You know MJ is
Um,
my GOAT. I'm just saying, LeBron's up there.
Mike, I think one of the things that kind of hurts Bronny in terms of like how he's being attacked is one of the stories out there that his agent was telling these other teams he's going to go straight to a different league. I don't know if it was European League or what, unless the Lakers drafted him. So kind of scaring other teams away. Maybe it's bully tactics, whatever. But maybe it's unfair for him too. But I can kind of see people not liking tactics like that, and it kind of puts a dark cloud over him. Maybe unnecessarily, but just something I heard.
I don't know, man. I like the kid's game, and I don't know. I look at the game a little bit differently. When I saw Bronny's high school highlights, it was a lot of dunks and a lot of 3-pointers, and that was it. Okay, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that, but that doesn't necessarily translate as good ball in the next level. And you saw that at UCLA or at USC. Right? Like, okay, you were able to dunk on guys or get fast break dunks in high school. Those are going to be limited in college.
Correct.
Like, unless you're dunking over people, which you're not going to do at his size, which then limits him to the 3-pointer.
Yep.
With the other one, though, like, you see actual moves. We're seeing moves that, like, better moves than LeBron is doing, or that he didn't even develop until the later end of his career. And that's what I've enjoyed watching is like, okay, like this kid is taking actual basketball serious. The last thing that I want to see as a coach is you being limited to whatever it is you're limited to. Like if you're just a 3-point guy and you only want to hang around the 3-point line. I mean, we talk about this during Thursday Night Basketball, right? Like, Devin, I love you. I don't know if you subscribe or not, or you're watching. I love you, my man. But we know on a fast break, you ain't cutting to the rim. We know this. I'm not hustling my butt all the way underneath the rim because I know you're not going to go there, right? You have the wide open lane, but you're not going to cut to the rim. You're going to stay out on the 3-point line. Now, as a coach, I can't stand that. I want the easy bucket. Give me the easy bucket, right? And pick a ball. I mean, whatever. It still drives me nuts, but that's a different tangent. But I don't think the younger son is as limited as Bronny has shown to be. Now, I mean, that may change with all the NBA training and being able to. I mean, they've changed a lot of people's shots, right? Like Lonzo developed maybe a better shot. It was no longer from the side.
Bronny's got good mechanics, though.
He does have good mechanics.
Bronny's mechanics are like money. I mean, you can tell he's been trained by the right people from a young age, and I do like his attitude. He doesn't come off as like arrogant ever. Like
no, like
he's a total team player. Like the guy's always. My thing with Bryce too, guys, the younger kid is I think he comes off the bench. Somebody I work with, her son plays in the same tournaments against them, and Sierra Canyon and all those teams where the LeBron's kids play, and she was always kind of like, why are they get some? These kids are coming off the bench and they're getting drafted in the NBA. Like, what's going on? She always said that was kind of strange, right? So same
but
thing.
They do have a lot of NBA prodigy on that team.
No,
like
absolutely.
Scottie Pippen's son is there.
He's younger. He's younger than
he's younger than most of them, isn't he?
Until he gets, let's say, So let's say next year he might be a starter versus his age group. Now he's just coming off the bench because of his age group.
Yeah, but I guess what you're saying is he'll be a role. I mean, like he's a role player. If you are 16 years old and you aren't starting, I don't care what the team is, you're not a first round draft pick, right? Like Anthony Edwards didn't come off the bench of his high school team. Like, or
I
you know
mean,
what I'm saying? Like
Steph Curry was not even known until he
he
until
had a good
he ran
season.
into well a good senior season and
He
then took Dayton to into the dance, right? But
I
nobody
think the original
necessarily knew like
the
this
the original
kid.
argument though.
Go ahead, John.
The original argument was, is he gonna score more than 5 points and grab 1 rebound? So I mean, I think
That's
just
true.
he's got a higher ceiling,
Yeah, I'll agree with
and
that.
and
He's taller.
possibly a higher floor. Yeah, and that
Yeah.
helps, right? And then it's not his fault. Like it's good. Shaq's kid's pretty tall too, but I mean, just mechanics are different, and that's not saying anything bad about anybody, but it's just mechanics are different. So it just looks like as of
Definitely.
now, based on his age and what we've seen, it looks like he has what it takes to hopefully get to the next level. Now he's gonna have to go through college or the next step. But as of right now, it looks good for him.
Right. Okay, so here's my question to you guys. If you had a team and you had to choose between Gobert and Shaq, who would you pick to be on your team? I know it sounds like a ridiculous question, but I'm asking this anyways. Drew, who are you picking?
Shaq. Yeah.
You mean not the defensive player of the year? John, who are you picking?
He won't
His
say it.
defensive player of the year doesn't count. Yes, Shaq all day long, baby. Shaq. Give me Shaq. That's one of my favorite players of all time. And yes, he was a Laker, and I don't care. I love Shaq.
Okay, so here's and this is why I bring it up. Gobert went on record to say that his talking about Shaq, like his fat butt would go straight to the post to defend. He was like, I would go behind him and establish my dominance and jump high to block him. His rap career would be more successful than his attempt to score on me. Are you kidding me?
Is this real?
Now,
This AI generated? Like what the heck?
Here's what I'm gonna say. So Gobert says this in a world now where you can't play physical basketball, right? But you go back to Shaq's world where it was hack a Shaq all day, and he still doesn't care. You can hang on him; it doesn't matter. He's gonna move you out of the way, and then dunk on you, and then look you down, stare you down while he does it. So, I think it depends on the world we're playing. But I mean, if it's Shaq at his peak versus Rudy Gobert at his peak, there's no question. Big Diesel all day.
I still think that even like a Miami Heat Shaq or a Boston Celtics Shaq could still beat Gobert.
100%.
There's no chance that okay. Will you tip one or two? Sure. I mean, Yao Ming,
I might,
block Shaq every now and then. But come on, bro says Shaq all day. Exactly, Shaq all day. There's no question.
I might be a little nervous with the Shaq on the Celtics, but other than that,
Gobert. Let's just put it this way, guys. Gobert weighs like 260. Shaq weighs 400. I'm sorry, like they used to list Shaq at 300 pounds. That was a lie, 100%. That guy was 350 plus his whole career. I mean, as soon as he got to the Lakers, maybe Orlando Shaq was like 300. Like the way he moved at 400 pounds, like it's not normal. All right, the guy was
Drew, this
special. Yeah.
This graphic is for you, Drew.
Go check
the 6'10" center Nikola Vucevic had 60 blocks in 2,600 minutes this last season. Drew's all-time defender Alex Caruso, 6'5" guard, had 70 blocks in 2,000 minutes this season. Why did we treat him away? Why did we let him go?
I ask myself all the time, man. He actually was willing to take a discount to stay with the Lakers, and we let him walk so we could trade for Russell Westbrook. for
Yeah, he
salary
was.
space for Russell Westbrook.
So
Could have a nice little. He would have been great for our backcourt. And now the Thunder got him. Hopefully the Thunder can.
and he's on the Thunder now. Oh
He's
my
on the
god.
Thunder now. Yeah, Thunder's done. They traded Giddey for him,
Yep.
and
Yep.
Yeah, they did.
they made a nice
They've done
pickup
good.
with Hartingston or whatever his name is, the center
Yep.
from the Knicks, who's great rebounder,
Yep.
which is exactly what they needed. They needed another big body just to go out there and play defense and rebound for them. And so Thunder's GM, man, he's looking like one of the best in the league right now. He's just making smart moves. I mean, arguably Giddey's has way more upside, right, than Caruso. He got kids like 23 years old, 22, 23. But he wanted a starting role. He wasn't going to be happy with the Thunder. And now the Thunder get a guy who doesn't care, the Swiss Army knife, athletic
Yeah.
defender, shoots over
Who plays
40% from
defense
three.
super hard.
Yeah, that's his whole thing. He's just that's what he does. So yeah, Thunder's just a really smart organization. They're doing really smart things. So whereas
Like
the Lakers, we had our big free agent signing, Max Christie, guys. Woo woo, go Lakers. Anyways, go on.
we have we have so much movement in the NBA as we
That's the
alluded
only
to
signing
earlier.
they've done. I'm just throwing it out there, guys. That's it.
This is too much.
The
You're
Bronny
too much,
James
dude.
effect.
I know. Tatum for the Celtics. Tatum agreed to a 5-year extension worth like $314 million. Oh my gosh! After winning the title,
Yeesh.
we mentioned
biggest contract
Good
all
for
time.
him.
definitely highest
Yep.
of all time. We mentioned earlier that Klay Thompson is now with the Dallas Mavericks. He signed a 3-year, $50 million. Tobias Harris is with the Magic now on a 2-year deal.
Pistons. He went to the Pistons.
Oh, Pistons.
Yeah.
He went to get paid.
Gary Harris. Gary Harris went to the Magic on a 2-year deal. The Warriors are signing Melton to a 1-year deal. The Celtics extended White for $126 million. I'm trying to think who else ended up moving.
Paul George.
Paul George. Paul George is gone. He's with the Mavericks.
Maxey got an extension.
Or not Mavericks. With the Sixers.
Oubre. Oh, Maxey. Yeah, Maxey got an extension, 5-year, $204 million. Oubre staying with the Sixers, 2 years, 16.3. Let's talk about the Clippers for a second. So Derrick Jones Jr. 3-year, $30 million. I think we just signed Batum, right?
Batum.
Just signed Batum for a 2-year, $9 million.
You got Mo Bamba.
Yep.
And you got Dunn. Clippers got
Dunn
too. As well.
I'm actually happy about that. I think that's good depth right there.
No, Dunn kind of revitalized himself with the Jazz. So good for him.
Bridges is now with the Knicks.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just a lot of movement. With all the movement, who's the biggest upgrade?
The biggest upgrade, probably the Sixers.
And are they beating
the biggest name free agent?
Yeah.
But are they beating the Celtics?
No. Honestly, they're not going to.
Well,
I mean, it depends on injuries. Let's put it that way.
yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna say.
It's okay. So it's
They
hard
got
to
Andre
say.
Drummond, 2-year, $10 million, but he's got to stay healthy.
Yep.
Embiid's
got to stay healthy, man.
That's the main thing. If he's gone, there's no
Paul
shot.
George got to stay healthy, right?
Got to stay healthy.
Wait, Paul George gets injured?
That was probably like the worst leg injury I've
seen. Fun of him all day because
he's
not a Clipper no more.
In game on TV.
I can't.
Was
I
Paul
can't
George
watch
is
that one. By the way, I can't even rewatch that.
No, that was. Oh, I
He's
can't believe
amazing.
that just happened.
He's amazing to come back from that, man. Like,
Hey yo, Lou. Hello. Welcome. Let's see.
but who's the best in the East right now, as it stands? Celtics.
What do you mean?
Who's next? You taking Sixers or
Celtics.
Knicks?
Ooh, that's a good question. I like the Knicks. I
Man,
mean,
I want to see how
if
the
we go
Knicks
healthy,
play. I want to see how they play for a year, though.
I mean, if we're
Just with their
talking healthy
additions, right?
squad
I just want to
versus
see how
versus
they
healthy
play.
squad, I'm going Knicks.
The
They're
Knicks are just
they're
deeper.
Yeah, I guess so. Randall comes
Yeah, they're
back.
deeper.
We haven't seen Randall,
Mitchell
in the playoffs
Robinson,
for a while. So
right?
yeah,
Mitchell Robinson,
yeah.
Randall, OG, Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart,
I mean,
DiVincenzo.
they're deep.
They're just a
There's
very deep team. And Jalen Brunson's a superstar now. Sixers and Bucks are probably in the top
Yeah.
4 as well. So I think that's the top 4, and then we got Pacers on the fringe. That's how I see it.
West,
who knows, man?
Bucks got to figure it out, man. They got. I don't know what they keep doing, but they got to figure it out.
But with Antetokounmpo healthy, they're a top 5 team in
definitely.
the East minimum. Like, period. There's just no way around it. Even with Doc.
Like
For those,
they're always in it, but
Go
I
ahead,
would
John.
say, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I
You're
would say
good.
the Bucks are always in it, but he can't do it himself, And yeah, they got Lillard, but Lillard needs to do something, this coming year. So yeah, just Antetokounmpo can't do it himself. That's my point.
Dude, he got Lillard and still has Middleton. Their biggest loss was Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday. Yep, I'm with you 100%.
Was their D guy, the dirty work guy, the guy that doesn't care. I don't care about the accolades. I'm here to work. Like, I'm gonna do whatever the team needs. I don't care about the glory. I'll step up if I need to on offense. Yeah, and he just won this shit, man. Come on now.
He's won a chip, huh? Yeah, like that guy.
I'm gonna move on to NFL. For those in the comments or that are watching in the comments, I want you to name your number one NFL or the best NFL or the team with the best NFL weapons. Let me rephrase that. The NFL team with the best set of weapons, skill position wise. You can go. We'll go top 3, and then I'll show you the graphic that came across my feed and almost made me laugh.
Best
Name
weapons? What does that mean exactly? You're talking about quarterback, everybody.
No, I'm talking
receivers.
Receivers, tight ends,
receivers, running back, tight end.
We're not even talking. I don't even think this graphic actually included quarterbacks, but we'll go there. Who's the number one team? Who do you think is stacked the most as far as weapons on offense? John?
I got to go with the Niners first. I just do.
I was thinking the Niners too. They have McCaffrey. I mean,
yeah, I like it, Drew. That's my guy.
Ayuk, and I don't know. Then they got what's his name, Kittles.
Chiefs.
I cannot believe you just said Chiefs.
I'll say Chiefs as long as Rashee Rice is allowed to play and isn't. Don't say the Cowboys, man. But Chiefs, as long as Rashee Rice is allowed to play. CD Lamb's not happy with the Cowboys, so I would question that this year. And they have Zeke as a running back, so I might question that Cowboys one, but Chiefs have a decent shot at having really good weapons. I think
so you're
going
really Niners number one.
Makes it happen.
Niners number one.
I'd probably say Eagles.
Eagles are pretty stacked.
3. Yeah, I'd probably say that they're 3, but they're really good. Oh, they got Saquon. They got Saquon this year.
They got Saquon.
Oh,
Yep.
I might say Eagles too. I might. Yeah, that's gonna be. They're a nasty team. That's nasty right there. You got AJ Brown. I think they just extended, and Devonta Smith. They just extended. And I wish I could remember the tight end, but their position players are all right. Yeah, that's number 2 for me.
All right. Drew, who you going number 1?
Well, I
He
was
said
with them with
Tua?
the Niners.
Tua number 1.
I was
heard
with
of
the
Dolphins.
Niners for number 1. Number 2, though, Tyreek Hill. I mean, that's up there, right?
All right.
Come on, we're not talking about
Hill
quarterbacks,
and
right?
Waddle. Okay. No, we're not
We're not talking
quarterback.
about quarterbacks. Yeah, we
Correct.
got Tyreek Hill and Waddle.
H-N, I like him.
Yeah, I think.
I
he's
mean,
got
you
big
could probably
upside
say
this
the
year, guys.
Bengals too if what's his name's healthy, but
Okay. Here
Chase. That's what I'm trying to think
you're
of.
gonna laugh at this. I don't know who they asked.
Mm. Mm.
I don't know where this came from. But they said the Bears have the best weapons in the
First?
NFL with quarterbacks. Or this is the
I'd probably
quarterbacks
For a
with
quarterback, it's for the
yeah,
quarterback.
for the quarterback. Which I don't know. I don't agree with that, man. Like I get it. He has
They
a
did.
good squad, but I don't agree with that. I honestly think the Texans are better than that.
They got a
They
better
got
quarterback too.
Diggs.
I agree. Wholeheartedly. 100%.
Diggs, Collins, Tank Dell. I mean Schultz, and they just added Mixon to the mix. Yikes. Yikes. I mean, they got Vikings on the list. 2 was on there at number 6, so kudos to that. Dude,
There
so
you
they
go.
had Brock Purdy on there at number 3. Okay. Right? But some of these I just don't I don't
JJ
Stroud's
know.
up there.
McCaffrey?
I'm like, I don't think the Seahawks should be on there. I'm not at number 9. I mean, they'd be on the fringe, maybe 11, maybe 12.
Jared Goff, I'd put top 5. Kirk Cousins,
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm a little pissed off
Not
that the
Geno
Raiders
Smith.
ain't on there.
Well, so I mean, I would rather take a flyer on the Raiders than put Seahawks up there. Not because I'm a Niners fan, just I think the Raiders have some depth there. I mean, Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams is no scrub. Jacoby Myers is no scrub.
Nope, he's got to get someone throwing the ball.
They just got Brock Bowers, who was the number 1 prospect in the draft, and they are still super high on Michael Mayer. I mean, 4 guys you can legitimately throw 50-50 balls to.
Sure.
I know it's weird to have the Bears up top, but they're definitely on this top 10, right?
Oh, they're definitely on the top 10. I just don't think they're number 1. There's no way.
So I'll argue that only because I want to see Caleb Williams throw. I want to see him throw in a real game. I mean, and then we're gonna say the same thing with JJ McCarthy, top 5, and we haven't seen him throw yet. I'm sorry, like Jared Goff will take over JJ McCarthy in a heartbeat because his team, the Lions, are specifically better. Now, Jay Jetta, really good receiver, right? Top 1 or 2, I'm good with that. But as a team with weapons, Lions are better, hands down.
Oh, definitely. I honestly, I think the Texans should have been top 3 for sure.
Sure.
Eagles will probably be top 3, top 4. Niners should definitely be up there, and then from there it starts getting kind of iffy. I think Lions deserve to be on there just because of what they've done. I don't even think I'm not honestly, I'm not that high on the Chiefs weapons. Like Rice only came into the fold after they got their butts whooped by the Raiders. Right? I mean, to me, outside of Kelsey, I mean,
Okay, throw that in there.
Yeah, outside of Kelsey, I'm like, what? Who else do you got? It wasn't your offense that won the Super Bowl. It was your defense.
Taylor. One of their best weapons right there.
Swift, the Swifty. Oh my gosh.
They were probably like
Get out of here
14,
with that.
ranked 14 or 15, and then Taylor Swift gets them in the top 10 right there. Good job.
I'm like, what in the world? Okay. Other NFL question. Everybody in the comments, let me know who it is. You cannot pick these names. Okay. You can't say Derrick Henry, no Marshawn Lynch, no LaDainian Tomlinson, and no Adrian Peterson. It is 4th and goal at the 1 yard line, and you need a touchdown. What running back do you give it to? This guy picked Jerome Bettis. Who you giving the ball to?
Well, Jerome Bettis, man, that's
The
bus.
bus.
That's crazy.
I already knew Bro. I already knew Bro
he was
was
my
going to pick
go-to
this.
in NFL '95. Man, I just ran the ball every play with Jerome Bettis. Anyways, definitely Matt
on.
Lionheart with the Reggie Bush butt push. That would be my
butt push?
my play.
I already knew Bro's answer, only because we used to play Madden a lot, and he would only pick the Bucks for this guy. Mike
there we go.
Allstott.
Mike Allstott.
Yep.
He's good for 4 and Madden every time. Every
Exactly.
time he's good
That's
for
why 4th and 1, I'm giving it to Allstott. Who you picking, John? 4th and 1, you need a touchdown. Who you giving it to?
I'm a super homer. I'm picking CMC, man. I'm good.
CMC. Ooh-wee. CMC. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know who I would take. Bo Jackson. That's who I'm taking. My favorite player, all time.
I mean, there's a lot of good. Who'd they exclude again? I mean, Barry Sanders is not there. You could pick him, right? But he's not like a. Yeah.
Well, you're saying
no. And usually when we say 4th and goal, you're at a heavy package, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
That defense is bringing extra linemen. Extra linemen, more linebackers, less DBs.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who that big running back would be, man. That's crazy.
Mike Allstott is, and Jerome
you know
Bettis
what?
Was my favorite when I.
I'll go back again. Frank Gore. So Frank Gore was super hard. He was like a bowling ball, man. He was so good. And yeah, it's a homer pick, but I don't care because Frank Gore was the man, dude. Frank Gore, and he played forever. You would think for the physicality that boy played, he looked to go hit somebody. He'd be wide open, and a safety was gonna take him at the angle, and he starts running towards the safety. He's crazy. But yeah, he played like 15 some odd years. He played forever. So
Oscar. You say you don't need a running back when you have Jalen Hurts with the brotherly push, and we're gonna see exactly how much of that brotherly push was Jalen Hurts and how much of it was Jason Kelce. Because Jason Kelce ain't going to be there in front no more.
Yeah,
that's true.
Welcome back, Oscar.
But you got Saquon, Oscar, so, I mean, I think you're going to be in good shape with Saquon. As long as he can stay healthy, man, that's a huge pickup for you guys.
That brotherly push. Nothing like a little tush push, right? That's so funny. I can't wait till the NFL starts, though. We got to get this thing rolling. Get that NFL preseason games. You guys doing anything for the 4th?
Sure.
I'm just playing. I already know what you guys are doing for the 4th. I know
Drew, did you know that Odell is a Dolphin?
What?
True. Odell
I
Beckham.
did not
Odell,
know that.
man.
Odell Beckham.
I did not know
Thought
that.
I'd throw that out there, Drew.
Oscar said he's not a fan of Barkley, but we'll see what he does. Great team. Hey.
Barkley.
Oh my gosh, I'm coughing like no other. What are we? We are on the 1st. Happy July 4th, everyone. I know this is going to be early. For those of you still watching, please subscribe to us on YouTube at JAMM Podcast. Click on that notification button so you view us live. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and at JAMM Podcast. On Twitter at JAMM Pod. I'm dying over here, so I'm gonna have to cut out. I got no water to save me.
I
Help!
got this. Check out the jampack.com website. I got you, Mike.
Let's go. Let's go. Drew coming in clutch. I love it. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We love talking sports, as you know. Tuning in with us. We hope you enjoyed our discussion on the latest in the world of sports. Hope you subscribe, like, and review our podcast. Stay tuned with all things sports. Join us next time for more analysis and insight. Until then, stay safe, especially over the 4th. Be safe out there. Take care of one another, and we'll see you guys next week. Later, fellas. Have a good night.
Yeah.
I got